podcast. I am Casey Coggins here with Alvin Hebert.
North Carolina, stand up.
and Andrew Lara.
What's going on?
So, as we do every Tuesday, we are recording our podcast. All-Star Weekend for the NBA is 3 days away. So, that's what we're going to focus on today.
Hope is exciting. I thought last year was pretty exciting.
Minus All-Stars. The fact that it was like...
Not the game, but I'm talking about like the 3-point contest and all that. Like,
Did Eric Gordon won it last year, right? Yeah. He beat out Clay and Steph again. Yeah. And then Clay won the year before and Steph won the year before that, I think. One of those. It went Steph and Clay back to back.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I think the dunk contest last year lacked in thrill because we didn't get the Zach LaVine, Aaron Gordon rematch. And we don't get that again this year. But I personally think the dunk contest is going to be pretty awesome this year because I think the rookies are going to come and show out. And Larry Nance Jr. try to win a dunk contest like his old man, and Victor Oladipo is one of those athletes that you don't realize how good of a dunker he is. Before you got here, me and Andrew were talking about him, and Andrew was kind of wary of the dunk contest, but I brought up that Victor Oladipo came up short against Zach LaVine a few years ago. He
was doing some nice dunks then.
Yeah, but Zach LaVine wasn't losing that.
Nah.
So I think the dunk contest is going to be better this year than it was last year. And then the finale on Sunday, the All-Star game, Team LeBron versus Team Steph, which I think was a good wrinkle they added this year. And I just wish they would have shown the draft.
I just wish it wouldn't have been Team Steph.
Oh, that's what happens when he was the second leading vote getter.
I don't believe it.
You don't believe it?
Who you thought? You thought it would have been like Team KD?
I think KD could have gotten it. I think it should have been KD.
Well, he wasn't voted. If he would have been voted, he would have gotten it.
Oh, he was voted.
I think he was voted into the All-Star.
I think his attitude this year, like how he's like trying to beat Debo and everything like that.
Man, Steph's got the same attitude, but he's half the size.
I think.
But like when you see Steph do it, you're like, that's cute. But when you see KD do it, you're just like, fucking imitation.
No, I get more mad when Steph does it because KD, he's got a fucking burner account on Twitter. Steph is just like, calm down with your little shit.
Did y'all see what Joel Embiid tweeted?
He's a savage. He doesn't care.
He doesn't need a burner account.
Everybody should be like Joel Embiid.
Yes.
But
this is Joel.
I think
he's a savage.
I think the reason
he doesn't care.
I think the reason why it's Steph and LeBron is because, well, one, it was voted that way.
It was rigged.
It works this way.
I think it works.
You have
light skin.
you have the leaders of the last three finals teams for the last 3 years.
It's light skin versus do-rag LeBron.
It's smoking the cigarette.
Not the red wine drinking LeBron.
But LeBron's the leader of the Cavs. Steph has been the leader of the Warriors.
I just think they're just adding to their rivalry.
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons why I picked the team that I picked to win the game. But it's kind of interesting that the teams got picked, and then over the last 2 weeks, all you've seen is players LeBron picked get hurt.
You know why? Because they hustle hard. Hey, yeah. I mean, Boogie got hurt on that hustle play.
Yeah.
What about
Porzingis? Same thing.
He stepped wrong, and I think he landed on the guy's shoe and just
his ankle kind of rolled a little bit, but
a torn ACL on that.
Yeah,
it doesn't look like there was any knee issue. It looked like he rolled his ankle and he had a torn ACL. Like, what the hell?
That's that big boy thing.
That's what
I
you
mean,
get.
yeah, ACLs are even in football non-contact. You could just be running and you hit the ground. You're just like, that's an ACL.
Well,
Yeah.
You come to take that as normal, or even like Arian Foster.
Yeah.
Arian Foster goes down in practice, no contact. Oh, he tore his ACL. You know that.
Well, that was because that guy was made out of paper mache.
Okay, but Teddy Bridgewater too.
But like the players know too, like when they go down and they're just like, nah, GG, bro. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, you don't really see
Jeremy Lin.
injuries that
Jeremy
you're like
Lin, yeah.
immediately like that's something like you can see the injury. Like you might think, oh well, he could possibly
I knew
tore his
Boogie.
ACL.
I knew Boogie popped it.
But like the Achilles is one of those where it's like you can see them like overextend and just immediately reach for the Achilles. Like that's what happened.
And then
but
like
you don't
watch their
see-
reaction too, like
Like you know their face.
shit.
Like if they look defeated, they felt it.
yeah, it's like their face.
You don't understand some of them, but like the Gordon Haywards and the Paul Georges and the
That Paul George will forever.
Kevin Ware from Louisville a few years ago.
Oh, yep.
Like those, you see the evidence. The evidence is now in front of your face.
The evidence is that bone sticking out your leg.
But I do think that they made some good substitutions to the rosters for Team LeBron.
The snubs.
Made up for some snubs.
And it works out well in the NBA favor where the people who didn't get the All-Star nod get the All-Star nod. I kind of hope that eventually we can get to an All-Star weekend that goes to what I was talking about a few weeks ago, where you just have 4 rosters and have like a little tournament. Thinking about it, I think actually Bill Simmons had thought about doing that for All-Star Weekend. I know he talked about doing it for the 8th seed in the playoffs. Well, doing a 1 through 16. And,
Take out the conferences.
Take out the conferences, do 1 through 16, and all the bottom half of the league plays each other in one game rounds, like a March Madness tournament.
Like a loser's bracket kind of deal?
Yeah, and then the team that wins that gets that 16th seed. And then he has some other ideas that go along with that to make it so teams don't like tank out, so that the lottery still remains similar. And but
They can get rid of the lottery.
he calls it the entertaining as hell tournament, which I think would be kind of interesting to see because
I think if the NBA had like a March Madness like type of scenario, I think it'll be real live. Because I think you'll actually have teams actually, trying to get.
So you're talking about getting rid of a series and going down to just heads up.
No, not. I feel like it should gradually progress into a series as it goes on.
Like every round you had a game.
Yeah, something like that. Cause like
First round is heads up. Second round is 2 out of 3.
Yeah, because like the less games that there is, like the teams are actually trying.
Third
to get
round
that
is
win.
best out of 5.
Yeah,
and then
but
out of 7.
I think that might kind of throw things out of proportion because, as I've said, there's been one 8 seed to ever make the NBA Finals. There's only been one team outside of the top 3 to win a championship. Because those teams just aren't as good as the top 4. Like you need to be the top 4 teams are your best teams in the league. You don't want to see a team like, let's say Sacramento sneaks in there. You don't want to see Sacramento in an NBA Finals against Charlotte.
Like with college, when like those Cinderella teams are like making their run, like it makes it more exciting.
When has a
But I mean, there's. You see bad basketball, you see a bad product on the court.
Yeah, I mean, so like you're not going to.
You don't want to see that.
That's why in the NBA you're not going to see a bad team like the Kings.
You don't want to risk
something like that.
Yeah, with college though, you are seeing 18 to 22-year-olds play for their university, and it's a more kind of heartwarming thing. when you watch college basketball, and that's why teams like VCU, when they made their Final Four run, and you have a few every now and then make a run to the Final Four, but usually when we talk about Cinderella teams, when we're talking about, you know, your 10 to 14 seeds making a run, they're making it to the Sweet 16. They're making it to the Elite Eight and then going out, and then so you have your you know, oh, good for you, like here's your participation award.
You did better than we thought you would.
Yeah.
Then you got people burning their brackets.
You killed our bracket.
Yeah, I love it. Exactly. All over social media, like, but this shit.
But then
I'm never doing this ever again. And then they do it again.
But then they go up against, you know, the Anthony Davis led Kentucky Wildcats, or like, and then they get blown out, and now we get to see the real boys play.
Yeah, because basketball is about the star player, like that's going to carry the squad. It's not like, oh, this is a team effort, guys. Like, yeah, let's go out there and do it.
Yeah, so I think, like, well, personally, like, it'd be neat to see kind of that idea of, like, the NFL, like, one game playoff series, and let, you know, anything can happen.
Baseball, too, they got that with the...
But I think the NBA is set up more to be able to do series just like baseball is. And, I mean, in the cynical point of view, the NBA gets money out of the deals. The TV networks get money out of the deals. The players get money out of the deals. The only people who don't get money out of the deal, the fans who have to spend the money for those people.
We're adding to their money.
Yeah, so as a fan, we pay to watch more basketball. So I think that kind of playoff would never happen.
But wait, I forgot. They want shorter seasons, so I'm sorry.
And that's one thing that me and Andrew were talking about when we were talking about the Boogie injury, is, you know, kind of thinking about it. Well, they extended the season because they started a couple weeks earlier to give more rest days. Having to travel, and they're still having to practice, and it's...
Hey, but they got their rest days. That's what matters, right?
No, they're playing more games. And while I think, you know, you talk about the guys like the guys in the 90s and the 80s, the Jordans and the Magics and the Birds, and them busting their ass 82 games a year.
Yeah.
I feel like while medical treatment and the way teams travel has been advanced so much since then, the game has become softer. I feel like we see more injuries with top players because they don't go through as much as the Jordans, and there's more athletic, like they're pushing their body to the limit in ways that athletes didn't 20 years ago and 30 years ago. You have a 15th man on a roster being able to throw down like 360 windmill dunks, where the 15th man on the like 86 Celtics was like a broken down Bill Walton, like
got bad knees. I can't.
So
the locker room guy.
So it's, I think, while like the athletic,
John Sally.
The athletic ability has become so much that, you know, they're pushing their bodies to the limit to be able to do the things that they can do on a court, and some guys, like, you'll see more injuries like that, where a guy just jumps up and lands, and his muscles like, hey, this ain't working out.
I feel like it's working to their disadvantage with the injuries. This whole like trying to shorten it and like less contact and all that stuff. It's like with football now. Like football, like
me,
with the no pads during practice and all that stuff. More walkthroughs.
To me, it goes well. And football's a little different because you have the concussion issue. So if you're having to hit and hit and hit, that's one of the things that studies have shown, that it's not necessarily concussions that lead to CTE, but it's the continuous head
trauma.
Yeah. So
it's getting hit again after you have a concussion.
Yeah, well, and it's, you know, you go...
Put me in, coach.
You have a guy like Fletcher Cox of the Eagles playing on 50 to 60 snaps a game, and so he's getting hit in the head, or he's continuously getting hit, and it's just the Kill Bill scene where she's in the coffin buried alive, and she has to do the little punch,
the 1-inch punch.
The 1-inch punch. That's what it is, and then eventually it breaks. With basketball, I just kind of see it as like an immune system. Like the people who get the most sick probably aren't the people who let their immune system fight things. They're the ones who are constantly taking medications, constantly getting shots to like vaccinate themselves to prevent their red and white blood cells from doing their jobs and their body from doing their jobs. I am the anti-germaphobe. I do not care about germs, and I haven't been sick in 14 years.
He invites people to sneeze on him all the time.
Yeah, exactly. I ask you to sneeze in my hand, and then I rub it on my face.
God. What?
But I just, I mean, I also make sure to drink juice and get my vitamins, but I don't care, like, I'm not going to sit there and wash my hands every 5 seconds and hand sanitizer and put the stupid plastic thing on the toilet seat when I sit on it. Like, I
Wait, what plastic thing?
You know, they have the paper cover at the in restrooms.
Oh, you gotta do that in public, dude, because there's shit on the toilets.
I wipe down the seat with the toilet piece of toilet paper, and then I sit on it.
I don't touch other people's shit.
See,
I don't even touch my shit.
Like I just wipe the toilet seat. I make sure to not, put my hand on the toilet seat, but
nasty.
I'm touching the opposite side of a paper.
And on the other side of that paper is someone else's shit.
Have you?
That he flushes down the toilet.
You're the one with the sun hair.
Yeah.
You've wiped his ass, right?
It's gross. That's why I'm saying you nasty. I know.
It doesn't, like...
I've seen shits come out of diapers. They shit up.
It doesn't...
You know when you sit down and the shits... No, their shit goes up.
It does. I dealt with that with my nephew, man. That was so nasty.
See, it doesn't bother me. It doesn't matter to me. Because, if worse comes to worse, we created soap to be able to deal with that stuff.
Well, it's like the whole thing with the flu shot. Like, I don't get why people go get the flu shot.
I haven't had a flu shot.
Yeah.
In a very long
years. Time. But people go get the flu shot and they die from it. It's like, bruh.
They don't die from the flu shot.
Going back to the basketball thing, the reason why I say it's like the immune system is when you're not allowing your body to work in a certain way, then when you go and you work it in that certain way, things tear. Things are going to break. You're going to break down.
Yeah, you can't go 50% at practice and then go 100 at game.
I haven't played basketball in like a year. If I went and shot right now, just played for an hour, I would get back and I feel like my hamstrings are ready to pop out of my leg.
Yeah, you. And
I don't dunk. I barely even touch glass when I jump now.
I barely get 1 foot off the ground.
I stay on the perimeter and jump threes.
Typical white boy move.
Exactly. I give the Isaiah Thomas, I'm open to LeBron.
Clap, clap, hand up, I'm open.
Deion Waiters.
Make it rain. Rain Man.
But I don't work out enough, so if I go and work out, I'm going to feel like I'm going to fucking die. So, and these guys are professional athletes.
You don't feel like your heart's about to jump out your chest.
If they're not playing, if they're not practicing and playing in the games and going hard for the 70 games we might get to see them, you're going to see more injuries because now instead of them playing Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, they're playing Monday, Friday, and that was their week.
They got their like nice little break in between games, so like that's when they should be getting those medical treatments and everything like that, like those massages and.
Yeah, but it's not the same as going in and putting in the work. So I think that's part of the reason why we see.
That's why I think it's stupid.
So many injuries. So to get back onto the focus of All-Star Weekend with the injuries that LeBron had and getting the reserves or the replacements on his team. I wanted to pick a 3-point contest winner, a dunk contest winner, and then All-Star game winner. So, Alvin, I showed you the 3-point contest lineup. Who do you see coming out on top?
I know Eric Gordon won last year, right?
He did win last year.
I still think it's going to be Clay, though. His shots just so freaking pure.
Yeah.
Like, I know Eric Gordon could shoot the ball, but like it's like when you see Pedro Stojakovic shoot the ball like back when he was with the Kings, like you just thought that was going in every
single time.
Like that's
not even touching rim. Every single shot.
Just wet all day.
While Steph might be a better shooter, Klay Thompson has a prettier shot.
Yeah, that shot is like sexy. So I got Klay on the 3-point contest.
Andrew?
3-point contest, I got Paul George.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, he's not shooting that much worse than Klay is. He's three-point percentage is at .425, and Klay's at 4.455, so it's not that big of a difference.
Definitely his best year shooting the 3.
But I will say with Paul George is he is more of a jump shooter than Klay is. Klay can while he does shoot jump shots every now and then, depending on where he's at on the court. When he's open, he's shooting set shots, which is typically what you see when you see guys who don't have to jump off the floor a lot. But Paul George does kind of have the chip on his shoulder this year, have something to prove. He was originally snubbed in the All-Star game. And he's definitely a competitor. As for me, I picked Devin Booker to take it. I think the Suns need something good to happen to them. And but you
Suns haven't had something good to happen to them since
Steve Nash was
Bledsoe.
the Suns
since they tried signing Aldridge that summer.
They haven't had anything good happen to them since Steve Nash left.
But they got a team full of Kentucky Wildcats.
But Devin Booker, he does have the set shot, pure shooter. He was in it last year, and I think he made it to the final round. And I just kind of want to give it to a Sun because they need something to happen.
Man, don't be giving no pity picks.
I do think he's definitely a good enough shooter to win. And he's young, and he's going to go in. Like Klay's won it, Eric Gordon's won it. Like they might, while they're still competitive. Like I feel like Devin Booker is going to actually like put forth like the best effort that he possibly can, and I'm pretty sure it was his coach that was being a human ball rack so that he could practice. I don't know if you saw that video. The coach that's like sitting, like doing, and he has his arms straight out and has balls lined up on his arms.
Yeah.
So I think Devin Booker is going to take it. He's one of my favorite, I feel like, under the radar players. Like as much as people talk about him because he is the leader of the Suns, since he plays for the Suns, you kind of just toss him to the side. It's like I was said, the participation award for Cinderellas and March Madness.
Yeah.
There's no Cinderella story in the NBA. The Suns kind of get a participation award. Hey, you have a professional basketball team that used to be relevant.
Hey, I used to have Steve Nash on the team.
You remember when you had Charles Barkley and Dan the Man?
You remember when y'all tried running that experiment with 4 starting point guards?
Rex Chapman? You remember when Amari Stoudemire could actually jump?
Right.
Oh, that Amari Stoudemire and Steve Nash years? Fuck.
Oh,
Think they had young Joe Johnson,
Boris Diaw,
young Boris, Steve Nash,
Raja
young
Bell.
Amari, Raja Bell. Like the fact that team didn't win a title is all the Spurs' fault.
Yeah.
If Robert Horry doesn't hip check Steve Nash into the board,
Oh God! Dude, he sent him flying.
And Amari Stoudemire Amari and Boris don't like put their one foot on the court and get suspended the game.
Yeah. Oh, that was horrible, Doug.
They probably beat the Spurs that series. Because
Tim Duncan hit that what was it? It was a three, right?
Yeah, the three.
The pigeon toe three.
That was a later series. I thought that was when Shaq was playing with the Suns.
Was that?
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure he hit it over Shaq when Shaq was with the Suns.
The Shaqtus.
Maybe, I don't know. The years blur together. All the championships, the years from the Spurs, they just all blur together.
Those Tim Duncan years were just all one
big celebration.
It was. It was a whole lot of winning.
Or, as we say in San Antonio, it was one big fiesta. So on to the dunk contest. Andrew, who do you got in the dunk?
My dunk contest, I got Oladipo. Taking it. I mean, he's had a breakout year. Why not add this to it?
Well, he's on the All-Star team, right?
I think. Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
Steph's team, I think. I think.
Oh. Cool.
He's on one of the two teams.
Somebody's team.
He's on there.
He made it after, the year where Russell Westbrook had no help. He's on the All-Star team.
Yep.
Alvin, on to you. Dunk contest winner.
I also got Oladipo. One, because he was in it last year, and I think he showed what he could do. The rookies, I don't know. I mean, sometimes the rookies try to come up with something too flashy, and it doesn't work. But I feel like with Oladipo having that,
the experience of being there.
So he will know what dunks will get the points. It's not about that's a new dunk. I never saw. It's the dunk that's going to get me the 10.
Yeah, I mean, I've also seen the instances where a person is returning to a dunk contest and they're like, well, this didn't win it for me. Now I got to try something new and exciting, and then they end up throwing lobs to themselves 13 times in a row.
Ryan Anderson. Chris Anderson.
Birdman.
And it will add to his, redemption season.
Yeah.
I feel like that's, with your Paul George pick and y'all's Oladipo picks, it's like a redemption year. But I do have one of the rookies winning it. I'm picking Dennis Smith Jr. The Mavs need something good to happen to them this year.
You're not a sympathy pick?
No. I actually think Dennis Smith is the most explosive out of the four. He gets the little man pick, the Nate Robinson, Steve Francis. Look at the 6'1" guy jump and put his chin on the rim. So it looks more explosive, and he's a rookie, and as Alvin just pointed out, sometimes rookies try to do too much. I think he's going to try to do too much, but it's going to work out in his favor because of the type of athlete he is. While Donovan Mitchell is also a great athlete, I don't see the same kind of explosiveness from him that I do from Dennis Smith. Larry Nance is probably going to be penalized a little bit because he's 6'10", 6'11" against Oladipo, Dennis Smith, and Donovan Mitchell. And he's not the kind of athlete that Aaron Gordon is. So while Aaron Gordon's 6'9", Aaron Gordon's just a freak athlete.
Yeah. One thing that I think Donovan could work in his favor is he could be the Zach LaVine that's more of the finesse, that looked pretty. Let's give it a 10.
I don't know. Zach LaVine can throw down some super athletic dunks.
Yeah, but he was so finesse about it though. He made it look easy. He does this in his sleep.
But I think I see Dennis Smith kind of being the Jason Richardson type dunker, where just he's not as big, but he jumps and you're like, oh, well, you can do that. So I think he'll take it. And I think it's going to be a good dunk contest, like I said earlier. I really like the 4 contestants. Hopefully Larry Nance puts on a good show too, because if he does, then I think all 4 will. The other 3, the 3 guards will.
Make your daddy proud.
So if Larry Nance puts on a good show, then I think it's going to be a very entertaining dunk contest.
Is LeBron going to help him out with dunk selections?
I think the last time LeBron cared about a dunk contest, he was 17.
Well,
No, he said he doesn't care. He regrets not playing it.
He does dunk shows on the warm-up lines.
Did y'all watch his dunk contest when he was in high school?
No.
It was lame. It was so boring because it's a high school dunk contest, and LeBron has been touted as the best basketball player since Michael Jordan when he was in high school. Everybody knew who LeBron was, and so they were like, all right, well, I guess
here's a Hummer.
I guess we're going to do a dunk contest in high school. Who wants to face LeBron James?
Nobody really.
And who else can dunk?
and LeBron went out there and he, I think he did a baseline between the legs was his best dunk. But then everything else was he jumped, cocked it back, his fast break dunk, and then he did one alley-oop to himself. It wasn't anything special. All he had to do was throw it down with force. Now granted, this is also 2002, so you didn't see the athletes like Gerald Green. I don't know if y'all remember Gerald Green in high school, but he wasn't in a dunk contest.
The All-American dunk contest?
Yeah.
Yes.
They got better and better as the years go. And now
what's his name? Josh Smith too?
Yeah. I think LeBron's high school dunk contest was really the first year that you saw these high school seniors be able to do certain athletic feats. But LeBron just kind of was like, I'm going to get 50s every time. I'm just going to go, and I didn't even dunk that one. I laid it up. 10s.
It's LeBron James.
It kind of was going to be exciting to see him, in his 3rd or 4th year hitting his athletic prime, to be in the dunk contest. But after 2008, I didn't want to see him in the dunk contest because I knew he wasn't going to do anything that we hadn't seen.
He was just going to be like the Dominique Wilkins' power dunking.
Yeah, but
those are fucking great.
But we already have that with Dwight Howard at that time. We didn't need 2 power dunkers going at it.
Yeah, we could. Who's gonna break that fucking backboard?
If we wanted that, we would have had Shaq in a dunk contest in 95.
I mean,
he would have brought the whole court down.
Yeah.
Ooh. Jordan Clarkson showing out.
See, now they can run.
We go, woo. Gets quiet. Casey looks at the mic. Jordan Clarkson.
Shit, somebody say something.
You might have to edit this one.
Edit that out?
Nah.
No, it's going all raw, man.
Nah, we're going raw dogging it.
Rugged and raw.
So now the finale Sunday night, All-Star game. Team LeBron, Team Steph. We've gone over the rosters, talked about how exciting some of these 5-man lineups can be. As I said earlier, at one point, Team LeBron can throw out Russell Westbrook, Kevin Durant, Paul George, LeBron James, and Anthony Davis to Damian Lillard, James Harden, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green.
At one point, Steph Curry's team could be nothing but 3-point shooters, and they're all just going to stand outside and just throw 3-point shots.
Yeah, they're good. Who can shoot the furthest?
It's going to be like the Larry Bird, Michael Jordan horse contest commercial.
Throwing it off the rafters.
Personally, I think Team LeBron's going to win. LeBron needs something good to happen for him this year.
I think we all got Team Bron going.
No, I think we all think LeBron has the better overall team. Team LeBron also has this guy named LeBron James.
And this guy named Kevin Durant.
And this guy named Russell Westbrook,
and this guy Kyrie Irving.
but he doesn't matter. But
Anthony Davis.
Russell Westbrook takes the All-Star game personal, and I love watching it.
It might feel Stephon Marbury back in the day.
Hey, but you know what? So does Giannis.
Kobe Bryant.
So does Giannis, though.
Yeah.
We saw that last year.
Yeah,
he took it very personally.
Yeah, so I think like it's kind of a
You ever just get like granted to play and you're mad about it, so you take it out on Steph Curry.
Now he's your team captain.
That's why he chose him.
LeBron chose Kyrie.
yeah.
No, that's why,
because
that's why he chose KD.
I feel like you're gonna see the guys like Damian Lillard, who's like fucking finally, Jesus Christ, what did I have to do the previous 2 years to be able to make it here? Who are going to try? But you're gonna see guys like Draymond and Clay and Steph.
Just
Fuck it, we're here again. We don't need this. We just want to win the championship.
Mm-hmm.
That's all we're like. LeBron, I think, is going to take it seriously, just because he's now old man time, and
he's the Michael Jordan in the All-Star game.
Yeah, he's been on the platform for so long. Like, he doesn't have any of his buddies there with him this year. There's no D Wade. There's no Melo.
There's no CP3.
No CP3. The banana boat has sunk. Somebody peeled the banana boat.
It's like the morning after on spring break. It's just fucking condoms left on the banana boat. Found a random bikini top.
All these red wine bottles everywhere. Crazy night.
Someone left the motor running on out of the
the
yacht.
article that got posted today about the NBA athlete now becoming like wine connoisseurs.
Oh, I think
Gabby Union's talking about
Jalen Rose was talking about that, right?
Yeah, how they like go to restaurants and they try to learn as much as they can about wine.
Mm-hmm.
He said never trust anybody that orders their wine 40%. Like, fill it up to the rim. It's like he's all like, because the bottles are like too expensive or something like that. So like just fill it up to the top so you get your worth.
And then, Gabby Union was talking about it, and she's like, we don't talk about cars or flash or anything. Like, we're talking about who could bring the best bottle of wine. I was like, when did that start?
Popovich.
Yeah.
Everything. His coaching tree goes far and wide. I'm sure somebody's like, hey, you know who's really good at like what they do and drinks a lot of wine? Coach Pop, you should try that.
He has great selections.
Right.
You should check his cellar.
His fucking
red
cellar.
wine is good for the heart.
Well, see, that goes back to the whole premise about them like shortening the leagues and stuff. Like now they're all about being healthy and everything like that. Red wine is healthier for you and everything.
Well, then you got J.R. Smith
with the Henny.
With the Henny.
This is my red wine, guys.
Anything is possible.
It's gonna be like the Dilly commercial. Everybody's bringing the red wine.
Henny.
He offers the Hennessy, and they're all like, "What is this?
Who invited this guy?" Everybody's in like ties and turtlenecks, and
he's do-rag on.
The do-rag is the fucking black and mild.
JR, where the fuck is your shirt? This isn't 2016. Like we lost
championship parade again. Just like
we lost.
Just an update. J.R. Smith still doesn't have a shirt. Oh man, that's gonna be a sad day when he retires. It's like shit. What are we gonna joke about now?
Right?
There's always something to joke about. We're still gonna have the Suns.
Oh, poor
head down. Poor boy.
That's why I picked
Tyson Chandler.
That's why I picked Devin Booker. That's why I picked Devin Booker to win the 3-point contest. They need something. They needed charity, some goodwill.
You know, on the All-Star game though, like I was kind of like talking myself into like picking Steph's team, because I was like, all those shooters and like all the 3-point shots they could be jacking up, like that'll be super dope. One team's just all about dunking, and the other team's just like, hey, shoot from the half court line. All right, wet.
They have two guys who can legitimately shoot from that far and like actually make it consistently. Dame and Steph.
I mean, James Harden.
Yeah.
James Harden can. I don't think consistently shoot from where Steph and Dame shoot from because of the way he shoots the ball.
I'm just saying, like, if Steph's team like just like gets hot, like all of them's just like stroking it, like, bruh.
I still vote that somebody on a team eventually should just Golden the shit out of one of his 3-pointers. Just watch it and be like, shit, that's going in.
Nope.
Because how much of a mood
Steph shoots it, they're just like, nah.
because how much of a mood killer would that be for Oracle? Everybody
Just so anticlimactic.
because
you see it go up and everybody stands up and he's like,
because Steph
and then I'm a tumble finger wagging. No.
Because you know what I'm talking about when Steph comes up and he's on a fast break and he starts going behind the back and he comes around the Draymond screen,
Getting all fucking cute and shit.
And he shoots the 3 from like 5 feet behind the line and the whole crowd just is like, all right, it's going in. Steph is running back, pointing to the sky
Fucking
already.
shimmy.
Fucking Draymond's jerking off in the corner.
That took a very dark turn.
That was a beautiful shot.
I guess that would be Zaza. Zaza's the creep in this situation.
Yeah.
I'm Zaza.
That was Eastern European.
He's doing that. Did y'all see the Zaza dance from last year when he made that the one shot at the like free throw line and he turned around and he like smacked his ass? Fucking Zaza, what are you doing?
But
disco, good.
You know what would be troll though is like they do it one time, but then it goes like for a third time, and then really the fans in Oracle will just be like, "What the fuck?" Bro?
Because now every time Steph shoots a 3, they're just gonna expect a goaltend, and so it's gonna take the crowd completely out of it. Yeah, you gave up 9 points, but he was gonna make the fucking shot anyways, so he was gonna get the points. And
he gets the points, but we took away the momentum.
Exactly, and that's why I'm like so for this idea because I think it would be amazing.
And then on the fourth one, somebody goes up like they're about to block it, and they fake it, and then it goes in, and then the crowd's just like,
yeah,
we wasn't expecting that.
Just think about it. If it's an Oracle, like they would fucking lose their mind.
Yeah, that's what
if you just goaltend. It's just so distraught and just like
troll.
Like what? What happens now?
Think about how angry the Warriors have been this season, and how many tees they've gotten. Think after the third time what Draymond and KD and Steve Kerr would do if they just kept goaltending Steph's shot.
I'm telling you, if it's an Oracle, like servers will crash from all like the tech money just googling what happens when your hand goes through the rim. It's gonna happen just simultaneously, and it's just Silicon Valley's just without power.
The rest of the world is crumbles. Shit, well, we lost Silicon Valley. What are we gonna do about the rest of the world?
Elon Musk is gonna show up with this goddamn flamethrowers. Hey guys. Drew's gonna be like, did you see the fire?
I think that would be. I'm for it.
That'll be a master troll move.
When I first told, I think I told my brother about this and Robert about it, and they were like, "That's fucking stupidest idea."
That is the greatest thing. I would like pitch that to Joel Embiid.
Oh. Get on his Twitter. You know it's not a burner.
But see, the problem is that like you need to give the explanation behind it. You can't just tweet, "Hey, Joel, I think you should goaltend to Steph 3." Like
3 times though.
Like you have to give the explanation. Like when you play in Golden State, here's my idea. When Steph crosses over TJ McConnell, it's going to happen. He's gonna launch. It's going to happen.
Let's be serious.
Come on, Joel. You play with the guy. You know what's going to happen.
You play with the guy. You know what he's capable of.
Steph is gonna launch a 30-footer. Stand under the rim. Watch it. If you see it's going in, jump up, grab the ball, goaltend it. Watch the crowd react. because then you turn around and you do your wave to the crowd. They start booing.
Yeah,
they don't know what to. They don't know what to do. The Warriors are like, wait, what? Everybody's confused.
Steph might let out a single tear.
And you get to laugh. And you get to laugh your ass off. And you take the momentum away.
I mean, granted, he might throw his mouthpiece at you, but it's worth it.
Nah, that'd be one of the moments where he just sits on the court and just thinks about his life. Like,
What?
how the hell did that happen?
Did that just happen 3 times?
With his mouthpiece in his mouth, so just like
He's chewing on it.
chewing on
the
it.
refs,
Like, what the hell?
so one ref is going to call the goaltend, and the other 2 refs are gonna like look at each other, and they're all gonna look, and and everybody's going to be confused. Like Steph is gonna look at a ref and look at Joel Embiid, and
The game's gonna stop
look at-
completely. They're gonna take a timeout. It's gonna be an official timeout. Just like, hold on, we need a break.
It's gonna be like one of those warning breaks that.
so you know how when a timeout gets called and a player shoots it and they go and catch the shot so the person doesn't make it. Everybody's gonna think that happened. They're gonna be like, "Wait, did you blow a whistle? Did you blow a whistle? Did they call a timeout? Who called the timeout? Somebody? What happened?"
Yeah, but then he does it the second time, and they're gonna be like,
Ah, shit! He's doing this on purpose.
and then it goes to the 3rd time, and they're just like, "Do we tee him up for this for doing it 3 times in a row?"
Yeah, there's no rule against it.
There would be the Embiid rule there. Perfect.
Yes. We have.
Somebody tweet him.
We're gonna limit how many goaltends you can get in the game. 3 goaltends is a tech.
It's gonna be like a delay a game.
Yeah, they're gonna do that. Like, oh, he's delaying the game. Then they're gonna be like, "We're sorry, folks. We know you're watching this game, but we don't have no idea what the hell."
Like my brain is gonna get ready for doing his bang. You're gonna hear him take his deep breath, and he's gonna be like, wah, wah, wah.
And then you get ready for the semi-pro reference. This would have been something you'd see in this Will Ferrell movie, just semi-pro. There's a player, owner, and manager.
But then when he goes for the 4th time and he doesn't goaltend it, then they're just gonna be like stuck. Like, I should have said bang.
No, that 4th time is when Steph's gonna intentionally miss it, and he's just like, "Hi, I got you."
But that's why you have to stand. Like you have to stand because, I mean, we've all played basketball. I know when I shoot a shot, like I'm pretty confident it's going in. Like, and if I know that I shoot it and I'm like, oh, that's off right, that's off left, that's short, that long. I know immediately. These guys play basketball for a living. They do it every day of their life. They know when the shot is going in. So if Joel Embiid is standing underneath that basket and he's watching that shot go, he's gonna know when it's going to miss and when it's going to go in. And like if it hits the rim, bounces up off the backboard and goes in, like. That's different because they're gonna have to. The crowd's gonna react to that. But like, if it's a perfect shot and he sees that it's just that ball's going in. Like I know that one's going in. It's the swish when Steph swishes that. It's just a completely different reaction. So, goaltend the shit out of it, Joel.
You know it would be epic if he does one of the, like, he's not under the rim, but he comes flying in and just, like, spots the shit out of it.
Yeah. He fucking throws
Sends it into the
fucking slaps it into the backboard.
He's at the, like, fucking elbow guarding frame. He's like, oh, shit!
Just smacks it off the backboard.
So... I think that's my next rule proposal. Well, not rule, but idea that somebody should do in the NBA. That needs to be a new monthly addition to this podcast. Where Casey's new rule for sports, coming up with creative ideas.
It's a rule proposition segment.
Yes. So again. We all have Team LeBron. And y'all both have Victor Oladipo in the dunk contest.
Mm-hmm.
I have Dennis Smith. I have Devin Booker in the 3-point. You have Clay Alvin. And you have Paul George Andrew.
Yep.
It should be a good weekend. I mean, a lot of teams are just kind of dragging themselves into it. The Spurs are one of those teams where they play Denver starting in about an hour and a half. And, God, they need to get their act together. There's part of me that kind of has a gut feeling that we might see Kawhi coming out of the All-Star break.
Oh, yeah.
Like, there's a gut feeling that, coming out of the All-Star break, Pop is like, hey, Kawhi, like, he sat LaMarcus, Rudy Gay's not back yet. I'm kind of hoping that coming out of All-Star break, Pop's like, all right, let's get this full team strength going, and because the Spurs have had the entire roster for one game this season. But
in Pop we trust.
The Cavs, they're starting to get a roll. The Warriors are kind of having their struggles. I really think the Cavs, and while Utah's on their 10-game win streak, so they probably don't want the All-Star break to come because they don't have an All-Star, and Donovan Mitchell's the only person doing anything this weekend. They have like the Rising Stars Challenge or whatever it's called now.
Oh yeah, but the rookie versus sophomore.
But I'm sure like Utah's like, we don't really need an All-Star break. We're just hitting our stride now. Can we just push through? Can we simulate through the weekend?
That was the reason why they traded Rodney Hood too. Because of Mitchell. He's been balling.
Yeah. Real quick question, since Donovan Mitchell is the point of discussion where we were at. A lot of the discussion today was who would be Rookie of the Year now.
Donovan Mitchell.
A lot of people are saying that Donovan Mitchell has closed the gap with Ben Simmons.
I'd say he's caught up. I wouldn't say he's topped him.
Well, he has the multiple 30-point games. He had that game-winning shot, and I don't know. I feel like he's doing in the recent events. I think he's doing more than what Ben Simmons is. Like I haven't heard Ben Simmons' name
because you got used to what he's doing. Sixers are getting some wins.
Yeah, I think so. I kind of think I'm a little with Alvin on, but I see it as more. Ben Simmons is playing with, Joel Embiid and this team that a lot of people kind of expected if they were to stay healthy, they were going to make their moves into the playoffs. Mm-hmm. Where Utah, they just traded Rodney Hood. They made some. George Hill left. They were going. A lot of people I think saw them fighting for the 8th seed. You didn't see them really any higher. And as of late, Donovan Mitchell has been their best player. So you can kind of see.
And really, you can see it's his team.
He might be, even though I think Rudy Gobert is their best player. Donovan Mitchell has kind of been the driving force for him, whereas with Philly, I think Joel Embiid has been the driving force for them. Maybe not. He's not on the court all the time, but he is the engine of the Sixers, whereas Donovan Mitchell is the engine of the Jazz.
Yeah, I feel like he's the catalyst of their recent 10.
As of today, I have Ben Simmons just because he has been doing it through the entire season. He's been more consistent. He's doing things that very few rookies have ever done. But if over the last 10 games, if you take their stats and you say that this is going to be the way that they play for the last couple months, I think Donovan Mitchell might actually lead them. But at this moment, I have Ben Simmons as the Rookie of the Year.
To me, it's kind of like 1A, 1B, and they're right there.
Definitely. So let's get on to our Fire, Dire, and Prophesies. We all have the same fire. We talked about that before I hit record today.
Yeah.
The Cavaliers
2.0.
Yeah. Cavs are starting their season.
They patched, got a little faster.
On February 7th, the Cavs have officially started their 2017-2018 regular season. There's only been 2 teams, or this was the second time that a team on trade deadline day, that a team has traded 6 or more players. the last time it happened was the Cavs in 2008 when they were trying to keep LeBron and they traded a bunch of players.
Is that when they got like Antoine Jameson?
I believe so.
I think that was that year, right?
But yeah, there's been twice that on trade deadline day, a team has traded at least 6 players, and the only other time was the Cavs, like 10 years ago. And I think I like every single move they did.
Yep. Especially the Dwayne Wade move.
I think that one was the most surprising to me.
I thought that was very surprising also.
But
it was a pleasant surprise.
The more that after I saw the Woj bomb on that, the more that came out about it, about like LeBron was telling Dwayne, like they kind of had it was like a mutual separation. Like they both kind of understood. Like the Cavs did it for Dwayne to go back to Miami because that's where Dwayne always wanted to be. He never wanted to leave, but they wouldn't pay him what he thought he deserved, so he left on his own will, but not really wanting to.
I think he. Heart to heart, he either wanted to end his career in Chicago, where he grew up, or Miami, where he
Yeah, and
I don't think he ever wanted to end it in Chicago. I think it's just Miami. The ultimate goal was to be, I'm finishing in Miami. Whether it's a 1-day contract where I'm just gonna sign, retire, but yeah, I don't think Chicago. I think Miami's more of a home to him than Chicago is.
Now, yes.
Well,
definitely.
now, yeah, I see that. But that year when LeBron was the free agent and he went to Miami, Dwayne Wade was heavily considering going to Chicago that year. And the reason why he stayed in Miami, it was because they convinced Chris Bosh to go over there also.
Yeah. I mean, that free agency that year, I was heavily for LeBron going to the Knicks and Dwayne Wade going to Chicago. I thought that would have been
LeBron to the Knicks.
I thought that would have been great for the league. But in the end, you had Melo going to the Knicks and LeBron going to Miami. Well, Melo got traded to the Knicks. Amari signed with the Knicks.
Yeah.
But, we're watching the game with Cavs and Thunder, and the Cavs are up at half. You see the new guys, Jordan Clarkson, George Hill, putting an imprint on their game. They actually have point guards right now that they can trust.
Well, Jordan Clarkson's not a point guard, even though he's listed as a point guard.
He's a combo guard.
He's a shooting guard in a point guard's world.
Yeah, I mean George Hill, he plays very similar to the George Hill kind of player. He's just more explosive.
I think he plays more to the Jamal Crawford type of player. Bring me off the bench, I'll do my thing, It doesn't matter if he's at point guard or shooting guard.
But Manu Ginobili for the Spurs, yeah, he's a shooting guard, but he does a lot of the ball handling, and he could be considered a point guard. It's really just how he's listed.
Well, LeBron James.
That's why forward. I think Jordan Clarkson is kind of a combo guard, and I think Rodney Hood might not be the same kind of defender that Jay Crowder is, but he's a better shooter, and. I think they upgraded at every position, even though technically I think Isaiah Thomas is a better player than Jordan Clarkson and George Hill are. Isaiah Thomas just did not fit into a Cavs system because you have LeBron James and Isaiah Thomas.
He's a ball dominant guard.
Yeah, so.
But I like the moves. I'm not too hyped up onto it like everybody was on ESPN and all that stuff. I think the field with them and the Cavs has definitely leveled out now. But I do like that they got younger. I do like the moves. I'm not knocking that. They got younger. They're athletic now, and
I think they're deeper.
LeBron has yes men. they're not old veterans. Well, it's besides George Hill, but George Hill will listen to LeBron James.
Yeah, George Hill just wanted to win.
Yeah, George Hill just wants to win. The other guys, they're young kids that probably like idolize LeBron James and look up to him, so they're going to listen to him. It's not a bunch of like old veteran guys that are like trying to put their 2 cents in everything. Yeah. Like so,
you also these young guys, you know, as LeBron put it, you know, Jordan Clarkson and Larry Nance haven't been in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. Rodney Hood, I think, has only been in one time
last year.
George Hill was the only one who had kind of a playoff pedigree, and these guys, George Hill was with the Kings, so obviously he's going to want to go and like compete, and these other guys are going to see, all right, well, now I'm playing with LeBron, who's made it to 7 straight finals. Like, if we do everything we can to help him, he's going to help propel us forward. So I think there's a good kind of a mutual understanding between the new players and what the Cavs need. Whereas, you know, Derrick Rose is a fucking head case. So like
that boy's depression.
He ran away from the team to get married. He eloped from an NBA team. Dwayne Wade.
He was contemplating retiring after that too. Like,
yeah, Dwayne Wade wasn't necessarily a great fit with the Cavs, and Isaiah Thomas again wasn't the fit that I thought he could be for the Cavs, and he never really looked like himself. As we were saying earlier, it didn't look like the Cavs were having fun. They looked like they were just kind of going through the motions, like, here's another game. Where now they're like, somebody hits a 3 and they're high-fiving each other. They're like celebrating
chest bumps.
Yeah, and it just looks like they're enjoying life again. And so
all the Debbie Downers are gone.
And so I think that's a huge thing going forward, because once you get Kevin Love back, you're going to have a deeper front line. Well, because Larry Nance kind of can be that Tristan Thompson role off the bench. You can even start Larry Nance if you wanted to, because he can extend the floor.
Tristan Kardashian, bro.
Yeah, sorry, I forgot he changed his name. He signed the lease.
TK.
So, like, Larry Nance can stretch the floor a little bit more than Tristan Thompson can, but athletic big, can rebound, can run the floor, set screens, do all that stuff that the Cavs need in their backup big. And I think they hit a home run, and it would be shocking to me to not see the Cavs back in the finals now.
I wouldn't be shocked. I say they got like a triple with an RBI off of that, or 2 RBIs off of that trade. But I still think, like I said, defensive wise, I still don't know where they're at. Like, I know these guys are young and athletic, and they're
luckily
like, they're lanky.
The biggest competition for them struggles scoring. The Boston Celtics struggle scoring.
Yeah, but like teams that don't struggle scoring, like Toronto.
Yeah, but they would struggle to defend.
I mean, but that's why I said I think it's leveled out now, because they got people that can match up. But I don't see anybody like, oh yeah, this guy, I could put him on DeMar DeRozan and he will stop him. Like,
yeah, it goes to when you have seemingly equal talent on teams, who has the trump card of the best player.
Yeah.
And that's usually who wins the series, and the Cavs have the best player in the world. So, playoff LeBron, as me and Andrew keep saying, he's a monster.
Well, y'all already know where I'm at, where I stand. Stand firm.
Yeah, man. Keep standing there. Yeah, if it happens again,
wrong side of history.
Yeah.
So, onto our Dyers, since we all had the Cavs as our fire. I put down Major League Baseball because they are having some issues in their offseason. one ESPN writer put out an article like, thank God the winter is over and pitchers and catchers are starting to report, because it was a brutal winter for Major League Baseball.
Derek Jeter
gutting the Marlins, free agency freeze, bad relations between the Players Association and Major League Baseball. Guys like JD Martinez not having a team yet, even though he got offered a 5-year, $125 million contract by the Red Sox.
He's just asking for too much money.
Like Yu Darvish just signed a 6-year deal with the Cubs, and that's really the only big free agent move, other than like Lorenzo Cain signed with the Brewers.
The Brewers are going to look nice.
But I just, from what I've been seeing and hearing is that the relations between the players and Major League Baseball is as bad as it's been since the strike, and that's just not what you want to have happen with with Major League Baseball, because you had such a good 2017 season. You had like coming off of the Cubs World Series. You had Giancarlo,
the most home runs hit in a year.
Yeah, Aaron Judge, like doing what he did.
The Dodgers, what they were doing.
Yeah, the Indians win streak. Jose Altuve and the Astros. You had so many good storylines in baseball.
Verlander finally getting the ship.
Yeah, and then you go into the offseason and you're like, you don't want negative stories. You want to build on that momentum. You don't need any bad publicity, because you're trying to regain your popularity in America and stuff like that. I think just the negative news about baseball is not good, because you kind of see more baseball has an opportunity to kind of pull itself back up from the early 90s to mid 90s, where baseball started falling again, and then you had the Sosa McGuire year and baseball got popular again because of all the home runs being hit. And
then the chicks digs the long balls,
and then you kind of had a mid 2000s swoon where it kind of went down again, but now you have such a big youth talent pool. You have so many good young players. The face of the league, the faces of the league are all like mid to early 20s. Like everybody, Mike Trout, Bryce Harper, Chris Bryant, Clayton Kershaw is only 29.
Giancarlo is still young.
Yeah, Aaron Judge, Jose Altuve, Carlos Correa, like the list goes on of all the young talent in Major League Baseball. So them kind of having this kind of winter, that's why I have them in dire, even though it's not necessarily this past week, and it's more of a
been building
culmination of the last couple months. They're going, like, they're just, they're in dire to me. Alvin, who do you have on that?
I hate to bring it up, but it's Lonzo Ball, man.
Boo.
I hate to bring it up, man, but like
it shouldn't be Lonzo. Let's get this straight. It should never be Lonzo, because I think Lonzo's done.
I feel like it has to be Lonzo, because he's not standing up and saying anything. I feel like there's a point in time where he just has to finally say something. Like, you can't be the Donovan McNabb, man. Like, you eventually got to say something. Players are going to look to you and want you to make a statement. Like, they're going to force you to make a statement. And
yeah, that's true, but
it's going to look bad because it's going to look forced, and it's not what he really feels. And the stuff that's always been said through his dad, people always wonder, is that what Lonzo really thinking? Is that what he's going to his family and telling him, and his dad's just can't hold water? It's just
yeah.
You know what I mean? So, what he said that, and I told you guys, Lonzo is going to be good, but it's not going to be with the Lakers. And this
Well, it's not going to be with anybody.
If this keeps continuing, nobody's not going to want to take on the headaches.
Yeah, and then LeVar's going to bellyache that there's collusion between the owners. When I would agree with the owners being like, look, we're not going to sign all three of your kids because that's just a bad business decision.
The middle one steals shit from China.
Well, that's the one that he's talking about. He said if nobody signs, if the Lakers don't sign Jello next year, he's going to have him play with Melo again for 2 seasons in Lithuania. And then after that, if the Lakers are not looking to sign both of them after that, they're going to look for a team that's going to sign all 3 of them.
And no team is going to, in their right mind, sign all 3 unless they desperately need
publicity. Yeah,
publicity. So,
Detroit.
Welcome to Phoenix.
Sacramento. Go play in Brooklyn? Nah, Brooklyn, they'll eat them up.
Yeah.
I was thinking Detroit.
Nah, not with
Detroit needs the publicity. They need someone to fill that stadium.
Blake got it hot over there right now.
Yeah, I think they're set because Blake's gonna be there for 5 years. So
yeah,
I think they're good there.
It's gonna be one of those bottom teams like
Devin
Sacramento.
Booker resigns in Phoenix,
Yeah.
so they're gonna need another 4 point guards.
Let's try this out again, guys.
This will work. We promise.
So, yeah, I'm with you that
I feel like
every week on this line we could put the Ball family. Just to, it doesn't have to be anyone in particular because the 3 sons have to actually deal with this guy.
Part of it could be Alvin watching their TV show.
Yeah.
You gotta keep up on the nonsense.
If you're gonna keep up with that, might as well keep up with the Kardashians. It's more relevant.
Not if Tristan Kardashian's not gonna be on it.
I just missed the days where James Harden was a Kardashian.
He was never a Kardashian.
I know, he was never fully.
He dipped his toes in and gained like 20 pounds.
And had the worst career of his.
Yeah. All right, Andrew. Your line. Your Dyer.
My Dyer? We got the Memphis Grizzlies benching Tyreek Evans for at least a week or more. But
and not getting him.
Not moving him, accepting offers.
All right, Tyreek. We're going to not play you for a few games because we're going to trade you. Trade deadline passes. Hey, Tyreek, you ready to play again? Hey, what happened to you trading me?
Yep.
Nah.
We
were testing your loyalty.
It's like the I'm a Boss video from The Lonely Island where Andy Samberg raps, I suck my own dick. I believe you said you suck your own dick?
Nah,
that wasn't me.
That ain't me.
That's pretty much what happened that's pretty much what happened with Memphis. Nah,
man.
They not even just the Tyreek Evans thing. Like their whole season has been
the firing the coach, the signing of Chandler Parsons. Like, bruh.
They should have. I think they should have tried to trade.
They're in an identity crisis right now.
Mike Conley. I know.
There's no more grit and grind.
Grit left, and there are no more grinders.
They're grinding up, yeah.
It kind of was a sad thing to see Tony Allen and Zach Randolph leave. Like they just ripped the
that was the
heart
grit
out
right there.
That was the grit and the grind.
Yeah, I mean Conley and Gasol were the talent, but
the heart of the team was
Zach Randolph was the grit. Tony Allen was the grind.
Oh yeah.
Tony Allen was the grit, I think. Yeah, Tony Allen was the grit.
I wonder who's going to pick up Tony Allen because I think the Pelicans finally
bottom out.
Yeah.
I don't know. He doesn't really fit in today's game.
But you need somebody like that all up in your face defend, like the Patrick Beverleys.
He's kind of up there in age.
You know who could use them? Who lost their defensive stalwart? The Thunder.
With Roberson gone?
Yeah.
And you don't got to do nothing.
No. Here you go, Paul. Shoot it.
Yeah.
I mean, Tony Allen can score, and you kind of realized that last year towards the end of the season when Memphis was trying to sign 15 different guys to 10-day contracts because they couldn't keep a healthy team. And Tony Allen had to take on a lot of the scoring burden, and he was putting up, 20 points.
I didn't realize how ugly his game is. until like he like was playing with Memphis. I was like thought about it like when he got drafted by the Boston Celtics. I was like, was his game ever that?
He has that weird shot of like behind the head, like almost Dirk Nowitzki-esque, but it's just not as like clean off the wrist or hand. It's just
I was near Bill Cartwright ugly shot.
Yeah, exactly. That's a perfect example of how ugly his shot is.
I mean, like you got the Bill Cartwright, and then it goes down to Marcus Camby, and then the ugliest of ugliest is the fucking Sean Marion.
Sean Marion, the little fucking finger flip.
Hey, that's how I used to shoot.
Oh god.
But that's just because my hands weren't big enough to hold the ball. I had to find a way to get it up to the rim. It worked for me. It worked for him. I mean, Brent Berry also had that kind of two-handed set shot.
Yeah, that push shot.
But he was, his was a lot prettier because his was off of like the fingertips. So now we need to prophesize. Andrew, follow up. What do you see happening this week?
All-Star game. I see them breaking 400.
What?
Total points. Over-unders listed at 355. So, I mean, I could see it hitting 4.
Especially if Steph and them start draining them.
Yeah, it's gonna be fast.
I think if it hits 400, you will see a change to the All-Star game next year.
Oh yeah, again, and they're going to up the incentive.
A more dramatic change next year, because if it hits 400, unless it's like they extend the quarters, there's no way that each team should be able to get 200, like average 200. That means you're pretty much just jacking threes.
Playing NBA Live.
I feel like there's already a lot of people, NBA fans, who get turned off by turning on a Rockets game and
watching them blowing out teams by 30.
Well, I think it was a Rockets Nets game where they combined for like 86 3-pointer shot. Like, I feel like that's just fans don't really want to watch that because it's like pass and shoot. It's like a practice scrimmage exhibition type basketball. You don't see the pick and roll. You don't see the give and go.
I don't think fans will be like too deterred by it if it was actually a competitive game. If it was like a sloppy game, then like
I mean, if it's a competitive game, what you're going to see somebody out there guarding the person jacking up a three. So they're going to be shooting contested, and that's why I don't see it hitting 400. Alvin, your prophecy.
I had a couple down here to choose from to like mull over as we was talking so when we got here, but I'm gonna go with Neymar versus Ronaldo, which is tomorrow.
I didn't know they played one-on-one soccer.
Well, PSG versus Real Madrid. But we all know the reason why that game is hyped because it's Neymar versus Ronaldo.
Yeah, Brazil versus
Portugal. And I feel Neymar's going to have 2 goals in that game, and he's going to show that he's better than Ronaldo.
Still not the best player in the world.
Not the best player in the world, but definitely better than Ronaldo.
Yeah. I can see that happening. I can't stand Real Madrid, so...
I can't stand Real Madrid either. Even though Roberto Carlos played for him and Marcelo's playing for them. Like,
nah.
Why the Brazilians go there?
I think is that a Champions League match?
Yep. Champions League match. So, of course, this is it's not a friendly. This one actually has meaning towards it.
Yeah, so that'll be a good match. I might actually get a chance to watch it too. So my prophecy is college basketball. Looking at the schedule for the week, I see 5 more losses by top 10 teams. So 5 upsets happening. No team in particular. Excluding the Villanova Xavier game on Saturday because both of them are in the top 10. So one of them has to lose.
That's 3 and 4.
So yeah, so not including that game, I see 5 losses. One of them is happening tonight, I believe. Oklahoma and Trae Young are playing number 7 Texas Tech. So I see OU and Trae Young coming out and putting a hurting on Texas Tech.
LeBron said Trae Young better come out and play.
Yeah, I saw that, but I think he will. But I don't know if he's ready quite yet.
I don't think he's body ready.
Yeah,
he's not grown up enough.
Like that's another thing. Like I feel like professionals like shouldn't say stuff like that. Like, oh yeah, you better.
The last college prospect that LeBron said like he wanted and he was boasting about Shabazz Napier.
Yeah.
And what happened to him?
Good question.
Is he?
He's in the league, but I don't think he's doing anything. So,
just like when he was in Miami. No.
So, that's my prophecy. And as always, that finishes our recording for the week. We only focused on All-Star Weekend because I feel like that's the really only thing going on right now. I mean, other than the Winter Olympics, which
we're gonna.
As much as what's her name? Kim got the gold medal.
Chloe Kim. Yeah, as much as I love watching the Olympics, I don't know nearly enough about what's going on as far as the competitors in some of these sports. I watched cross country skiing the other day, and I don't understand what the purpose of skiing up a hill is. So why not just snowshoe? Like, okay.
Oh, yeah, they're all like,
why are you running? Why are you running up a hill in skis? I'm pretty sure from what I've heard, skiing is hard enough. I don't know why you have to run. Again, another biathlon. Why the hell do you have to ski and shoot a sniper? Like, what? Where is that useful?
Oh, what's that? One where they're like pushing it on the ice.
Oh, curling. Yeah, I love that sport.
Oh, curling is awesome, dude. You can't fucking hit on curling.
I can't.
There's another.
Is that great?
It is.
It's like the best Winter Olympic sport.
Yeah, that and the bobsled.
Oh yeah, the Nigerian team.
Cool.
Yeah.
You always gotta have
the luge.
The luge, yeah.
I think it's Robin Williams does a bit on the luge where he talks about just like sticking a blade up your ass and just like clinching. But curling is like there are some of these sports where I can see like, okay, well, you didn't have something to do outside because it's 28 fucking degrees. We can go inside and we can play shuffleboard on ice.
Oh, nice.
With brushes.
With brooms. Not brushes. They're brooms.
Oh, you're talking. Oh,
they're called.
I thought you were talking about table like shuffleboard. I was like with the brush, I guess.
No, curling. I did more research into curling. Did you know each stone or rock, depending on where you're from, weighs in between 38 and 44 pounds?
I did not know that.
That's pretty heavy to push along the ice. Well, I guess the friction helps, but I think I love watching curling.
No, I like curling. It's fun.
That's like the one thing I look forward to every Winter Olympics is curling.
I just can't take y'all serious when y'all say that.
Why not?
Completely serious.
Why
not?
Let's go to the bar and watch the curling match.
I would play curling.
Can.
I would, if there was a curling league in San Antonio.
I could stream it if you want.
Nah, I'm good.
Somebody's beating Shaun White.
No, they're by a point.
That's about as far as my Winter Olympics knowledge goes. I know Shaun White.
The flying tomato.
If it ain't Shaun White, it ain't nothing.
There's Chloe Kim now.
Oh, now yeah, Chloe Kim.
Her and her churro loving self. So I think that's about time to wrap it up. This has been the Bench Warmers podcast. I'm Casey Coggins here with Alvin Hebert.
Don't forget to watch the curling matches.
Bingo in Andrew Lara.
See ya.
See you on there.